So you're coming to see the movie with me this weekend, which is awesome, but I really want you to enjoy it as much as possible, and I know you haven't seen the prequel, so I thought I'd just give you a really quick synopsis. So pull up a chair, I'll tell you the tale of Iron Man, and I put on the wrong costume. Iron Man. So first you need to know who Tony Stark is. Played by the incredible Robert Downey Jr., he's like this genius, super rich ladies man. You can think of him half as Stephen Hawking, half Donald Trump, half Hugh Hefner, and half Robert Downey Jr. One day he's off doing a weapons demonstration on the other side of the world, and his convoy comes under attack by terrorists, so he loses consciousness, and when he wakes up, he's in this creepy cave, and there's a car battery hooked up to his heart, and this scientist that's like, dude, there's shrapnel trying to get at your heart, this battery's hooked up to a magnet to keep you alive, also my family's dead, blah, blah, blah. So Tony uses the stuff in the cave, like the bugs and stalactites and shit or whatever, to make a super powerful battery called an arc reactor based on technology invented by his deceased father, and he replaces the car battery with it, so now he's got this permanent glowing thing in his chest, ensuring that the shrapnel will never enter his heart, and that he'll always be the life of the party. Well, the terrorists want him to build weapons, but he tricks them and builds this like super badass robotic suit. Well, not that badass, but... And they fight and he whoops them all up and he flies away. Well, his science buddy dies during the fight, but it's okay because he lives on in the form of character development. And Tony gets back and he says hi to his faithful assistant Pepper, played by the expertly cast Gwyneth Paltrow, and his business partner Obadiah, played by Jeff Bridges. Tony's like, our company's not making weapons anymore, and Obadiah's like, yes, son, we are, you human paraquat. And well, during his downtime, Tony decides he's going to rebuild the suit, only this time mad proper. So one night while he's working on his power glove, he sees on the news that the same terrorists from the cave are wreaking havoc on the city that his science friend was from, and they're using Stark's weapons. And it dawns on him in the moment how badass of a weapon the glove's flight stabilizers could be. So he gets up and he starts taking pot shots around the room. He's like, bang, kill the lights, break the glass, break the more glass. And then he's totally all like,
I love the power glove. It's so bad.
He gets his suit finished, he flies over to the war zone to stop the terrorists and destroy all the company's weapons, so he flies in and he just moshes all these dudes, and then he's flying around elsewhere, but he gets shot down by a tank, and he just gets right back up all cool and calm and shoots this tiny little missile at it, like boom! Then some jets try to shoot him out of the sky, but they're using military jets, and he tells his Air Force buddy Rhodey, some sort of award-winning Terrence Howard, he's like, stop, it's me, I'm in the suit, and then he gets away. Well, then he finds out that Obadiah is actually really bad and has been working with the terrorists and all of this. And Tony's like, the fuck? And Obadiah's actually secretly made his own suit and becomes the Ironmonger. So they have this big fight in public, and Tony gets thrown through a bus, and they fly up really high into the sky and like freeze and then some other stuff. And then Tony's suit basically runs out of power, and Obadiah's suit is fine. So Iron Man's pretty boned, and they end up on top of the same building that the original arc reactor is on top of, and Pepper's inside, so that when Obadiah is standing on top of the reactor, Tony's like, Pepper, push the button that says explode the bad guy. And then she pushes it, and the glass breaks beneath Obadiah, and he starts falling. He's like, no. And Tony's like, hey, Obadiah, you're fired. And here's the pink slip. And then it explodes, and Obadiah's all like, I hate the fucking Eagles. And then the next morning there's a press conference, and everyone's grilling Tony about what happened the night before, and who was this Iron Man, and all of this. And Tony turns to the whole world, and he says, I am Iron Man. And the world's like, and that's part one. So in the time between Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2, Tony's been kicking all kinds of ass for the good of world peace, but he gets called to court by the American government, where Gary Shandling is not cool with him having such powerful technology all to himself. They try to convince him to hand over the suit, which he will not do, as he promises that no one else can duplicate the technology, so it's safe for him to keep it. Well, meanwhile, Tony is slowly dying as the core that powers the electromagnet in his chest is radiating toxins into his bloodstream, a fact that he keeps concealed from everyone. Well, then an enemy from Tony's father's past shows up, the Russian Ivan Vanko, played by the convincing Mickey Rourke, and he has duplicated the technology, and he shows up at a big race where Tony's gotten behind the wheel of a race car thinking, fuck it, I'm dying anyway. So in the middle of this globally televised race, Ivan reveals that he's made a suit like Iron Man's but with whips, and he's really good at whipping stuff, and it seems like Tony is about to get pwned. But then Tony busts out a special new briefcase that he can actually wear as an emergency Iron Man suit, and he stops Whiplash. Well, the government sees that Tony was wrong about being the only one with the technology, and they decide to send Rhodey, the superior Don Cheadle, replacing Terrence Howard, to try and commandeer the Iron Man suit. Tony's still dying, then ends up getting hammered drunk while wearing the Iron Man suit and puts a whole lot of people in danger. Rhodey takes control of one of Tony's backup Iron Man suits and gets in a brawl with Tony, which results in Rhodey taking one of the suits and delivering it to the military. The military makes a bunch of changes to the suit, mainly by strapping shitloads of guns and missiles and shit all over it, and effectively turning Rhodey into War Machine, Cheadle's second time playing a superhero. In the meantime, one of Tony's chief rivals, Justin Hammer, played by your beloved Sam Rockwell, has sprung Vanko from prison to help him take down Tony. And he's like, I want you to make robots that'll make Tony look dumb. Very good, man, but I want my board. Your what? My board. Your what? My board. Your bard? Like one of those singing poets? Do they have those in Russia? My board. I want my board. Oh. Your what? And Tony finally figures out how to cure his disease by watching old home movies of his dad and then creating a new element. And then he flies off to the Stark Expo and he realizes that Justin Hammer is about to pull some shit. And sure enough, Iron Man and War Machine have to team up against a fearsome battalion of Justin Hammer's hammer drones, just like in this frame-for-frame reenactment.
Break it down. Hammer time.
Okay, with all due respect for its genuine quality, the real sequence is one of the most amazing action sequences ever and is painfully short, clocking it at only 50 seconds. In all seriousness, we should take a second, or 50 rather, to watch the real thing. Behold.
See that?
Yeah, nice.
Ready? Get down.
Oh, I think you should lead with that next time.
Well, then the heroes team up against Vanko himself in his own special whiplash suit. He knocks him around pretty good, but they're able to defeat him with a super-powered high five because his weakness is the power of friendship, since he's from Russia, where friendship is illegal, like rainbows. By the time the credits roll, everything's fine, and Tony and Pepper are becoming an item, and they're totally probably going to do it. I'm not going to spoil the Avengers for you because it's just too awesome, so we'll have to find a way to watch it. Other than that, you're ready to go. So, see you soon.